In 2009, Amanita Design, a Czech indie game studio with only $1,000 for marketing, created a small game titled Machinarium. The game was instantly beloved by both critics and audiences and went on to win all of these awards and sell over 4 million copies. And 2 of those copies were paid for by me. The first being on my iPad when I was younger, and the second being literally a few days ago when I bought it on Steam. And I adored this game then, and I still do today. Replaying the game has given me such a new perspective on it, and I now truly understand what makes this game such a masterpiece. From the beautiful art design to the captivating and often mind-boggling puzzles to a really cutesy story, you get one of my favorite games of all time. And this game came out 16 years ago, and recently I realized how little people are actually talking about this game. A game that quite honestly changed my life and that has stuck with me since its launch is buried under a century and a half of other titles. But today, that ends. Machinarium is a masterpiece, and it deserves the recognition. Let's take a trip down memory lane and remember a long-forgotten work of art. Let's talk about Machinarium. And before I begin praising this game, please play it for yourself. If you've never played this game, you're really missing out because it is genuinely an amazing experience, and it's best to just go in blind and try to figure everything out yourself. But in case you just want to hear me talk about it, Machinarium follows a little robot named Josef who suddenly found himself on the outskirts of a city named Machinarium, and he needs to traverse this machine wasteland by solving puzzles and meeting people to find and rescue his girlfriend, Berta, from some ne'er-do-wells who kidnapped her. If that sounds interesting to you, play the game. There's a free demo on Steam, so please shut this video off and play it. It's short, but 100% worth it. Now, getting into the actual game, I'll start by mentioning the setting for it, because it took me a long time to realize that this is no lie my favorite setting in any game ever. Yeah, any game ever. No game has ever had such a gripping setting as Machinarium for me. Probably because I just love steampunk and robot aesthetics, because they always allow for such drab and dreary and overall depressing environments. The idea of a world made of just machines and metal brings a sadness that's hard to describe. Like the absence of life brings a melancholy that's hard to erase. And Machinarium takes that and uses it to build a fascinating world. The environments are sad and cold, and you can only imagine it smells like rust and oil, but the robots you meet are all lively with unique personalities, and it honestly puts a hopeful twist on this kind of reality, a reality where life, so-called, can survive amidst the unalive. Adding to that is the fact that plants and organic material is present, whether it be small plants peeking out from the darkness or the abandoned garden above the clouds. Regardless, it appears to be choked out amidst the machinery and brick. Like life is trying to survive, but in a world of machines, how can it thrive? And none of this creative world would be possible if it weren't for the appealing art design. This is probably the best aspect of this game that really makes it stand out from the pack. Machinarium is built on a beautifully created hand-drawn art style that brings this world to life. Every detail from the characters to the environment are so gorgeously created, and it really makes the game difficult to just look away from. There is so much detail here, from the rust on the metal to the cracks and the imperfections in the walls. It makes the game a visual joy to play through. The environments are truly a masterpiece in and of themselves, but the character design also sells this beautiful world. Every character tells a story from their design, and every character is unique in what they look like and how they interact with the world around them. And the varied characters along with the beautiful environments sell this reality as something tangible. And while I'm talking about these works of art as being kind of sad and depressing because a world of just machines kind of brings up that vibe, I do want to mention how cutesy this game is. The art design of Josef alone kind of shows the goofy nature of the game. Look at his off-kilter eyes, the dome shape of his head, the silliness of how he walks when he's upright. His entire design really brings out a lot of whimsy to the world, and it's complemented by the cute little story that he goes on. His whole journey throughout the game is to stop the Black Cat Brotherhood gang from blowing up the brain, but also to rescue his girlfriend from them. And when I say it like that, it definitely doesn't sound cutesy, but when you play this game, I never feel like the story goes in a very dark direction. The way the game is purposely designed makes the story and the way Josef interacts with it incredibly lighthearted and hopeful. When Josef finds Berta, they have this cute little interaction, and you feel like everything's gonna be okay. Or when he has to disarm the bomb, and he does it by mission impossibling literal toilet paper. And when you play through the game, it really hits you how charming the story is. And I think that's what makes this game such a joy for a lot of players, is the fact that even in a drab environment like this, or even when there's darker moments in the story, the game has happy endings, or there's a layer to it that's comedic or uplifting. It makes the game both a thought-provoker about humanity and life without us, but also contains a lovable and shockingly human story on top of it. And you'll have plenty of time to appreciate appreciate the visuals and story while enjoying the unique and fascinating gameplay that Machinarium has to offer. The gameplay consists of a point-and-click style of movement where you can interact with and collect objects around the scene. You can also combine objects you collect in your inventory, like so. Josef is able to extend and shrink his body to reach and maneuver to different places, allowing for more innovation. And most often, the gameplay consists of very difficult puzzles that you have to solve through complicated and tricky ways. Some puzzles are more basic, like the video game where you literally just play Space Invaders, but others are more bonkers in their solutions. Like, for example, there's one where you have to unscrew this tank to get to a new area, but this suspiciously wrench-shaped guy will only unscrew it if he gets a music player. So you have to mess with time itself to get this guy off his shift, to steal a speaker, then go down here, beat an AI at tic-tac-toe, steal his pieces, give those pieces to a saxophonist, which makes this lady throw a pot, grab these flies, throw them at the shopkeeper, distracting him from you stealing his oil drum, give that oil drum to the drummer, causing this lady to throw a plant, then going all the way up here, mess with the electrician and his bird, do this little puzzle, electrocute the cat, eat the cat, sick the cat on a mouse and a didgeridoo, causing the old lady to throw her final object at her disposal, a radio thing, combine the radio with the speaker, plug it in, and now you have a willing wrench to drown your enemies. Then you have to find 3 less sentient wrenches, plug them into the wall in this exact position, and then you can hop into the fountain onto the next area. And sure, these puzzles can often be frustrating, but I do the mini, wordle, strands, and connections every day, okay? I enjoy a good puzzle. What does that even mean? And I would say the majority of the puzzles require a good chunk of thinking to solve. There are very few, if any, puzzles that I would classify as easy. Most of them require at least a semi-developed cranium to figure out. But regardless of the difficulty of the puzzles, I would say all of them are enjoyable. It's just the way the puzzles are crafted makes them so fun to solve. When you figure out how that piece goes with this puzzle, or how that thing from all the way back there actually works with something here, it gives you this sense of creativity in the minds of the puzzle makers. No puzzle is basic. No puzzle is generic. They're all unique and perfectly made for the game and its setting. And solving each puzzle always gives a shot of satisfaction and joy. It's really impressive how Amanita was able to take a pretty basic gameplay style and make it special, because all it really is just clicking. But the game never feels bland or uninspired, which is insanely cool, and I think shows how much care was actually put into this, how much genuine creativity was put into Machinarium to make the game feel alive and present and never forgettable. And if the visual and gameplay aspects of this game weren't enough, what truly makes this game a masterpiece is the ethereal and captivating musical score that accompanies the game. All locations have a unique sound to it because Czech composer Floex created individual tracks for most places you can visit in this game. Each track has a special feel to it that brings this art style to life. Most of the music is very electronic, which is, you know, fitting for this kind of world. And the music for these sections usually offer a mysterious yet robotic vibe to the location. But then there are tracks like The Glass House with the Butterfly, which has this life to it with the piano and the subtle cracks in the recording that bring a sense of humanity to it that seems lost in this robot world. And fitting enough, this track plays in the greenhouse with plants, a place where life survives amidst the machine madness surrounding it, and this music emphasizes this with the almost hopeful yet somber tone it has. It's truly one of the most beautiful tracks to any game ever because it says so much about this setting. And there are a few more songs I wanted to highlight. The castle has this extremely elegant feel to it, but then in the middle it starts to build as if time is running out, which makes sense given we're in basically a palace and time is indeed running out because this is when you have to defuse the bomb. The Black Cat Brotherhood theme has this very Sopranos rugged feel to it, which is fitting for a gang of trouble-causing robots. Mr. Handigoat is very upbeat and fits this kind of open location that it has. And to be fair, every song is just fantastic in their own right, and I truly can't say how well all of them fit their locations enough. The soundtrack for this game is just perfect. It really is. But it's not just the music, but also the sound design that just knocks it out of the park. Some locations that don't have a unique score from Floex will rather have ambiance of some kind to accompany the visuals. And just like the music, it fits every time. The location that stands out to me is this courtyard audio, which is pretty much just flowing wind. It's incredibly simple, but also makes total sense for the open, large-scale place you are currently in. Or this transitional space where the audio is mainly this weird, mechanical, and also surreal mesh of sounds combined with the faint brushing of this little robot. Also, little things like the little bark that Josef does when he's talking to people or when he's astonished really brings a lot of life to his character. Overall, the audio design design mixed with a creative and fitting musical score create one of the best games from an auditory standpoint. It's not the most complicated, this did come out 16 years ago, but what it accomplishes with its simplicity deserves to be praised. It sells every ounce of these little pictures and animations with just a soundtrack and some ambiance. That's truly something special, and I can't gush about it enough. And I'll end the video with this. Please, we can't, as a human race, forget about Machinarium. This game is 16 years old, and let's be honest, that's older than some of you watching this video. Our world has changed so much in those 16 years. Games have become so much more advanced since then. Adobe Flash, what this game was made in, has been discontinued, and in the age where everyone is talking about AI and the future of it, we can't forget about a game that literally shows what life can be like without humanity. Lifeless, yet sentient robots living in their world, not ours. Machinarium is nothing short of a masterpiece, and replaying it as an adult has given me memories and an experience that I'll never forget. And I really hope that this short YouTube video made by yours truly has been able to capture even an inkling of the magic that this game has provided millions of people. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making it. God bless all of you. Have a good day, friends.